On the note of that, let's jump to the next comment from Red Pill Factory. He says, "Yeah, this video is insulting, to be honest. The actual reason why people are angry is very reasonable. People played by YouTube's rules. Now they say the rules we told you to play by before, we changed our mind on that. We lied. We're taking the money away we gave you for work you already did for us by the rules we set out. That's effectively a more polite form of stealing. Analogy. Telling a contractor you want your house to be made of solid gold. Contractor builds a gold house and you tell them, you know what? I changed my mind. I'm not paying for that anymore. Insert whatever reason, which doesn't matter here." Red Pill Factory, thank you very much for the comment. I really do appreciate it, but I do disagree with you quite heavily. The first thing I disagree with is we're taking the money away that we gave to you. As mentioned in the last comment, they are not taking money that they already paid you. That's not how this is working. If you get hit with this policy violation, they are just demonetizing or offering limited ads. That means going forward, you are going to earn little or no money. They are not saying you earned $100 in the past, this video is demonetized, you now have an invoice for $100. Pay us back. That's not how this is working. Ads were shown to people on your videos. You got paid for those ads. They can't say, hey, you offered this service, you provided a service, which is a platform for ads to be shown on, and we got value out of that. We're going to invoice you for that now. That's not how this is working. Going forward, you will earn little or no money if it gets hit. The next issue I have is just a little bit later in that same sentence. Work you already did for us. In completion, we're taking the money away we gave you for work you already did for us. Work you already did for us. I think that's a very skewed way of looking at YouTube. The reason I say that, YouTube did not ask us to make content for them. YouTube did not say we'll give you money to make content for us. Unless, of course, you are part of Rhett and Link, maybe you're part of Crash Course, where they have these grants that they give out. And if they do that, they say produce a series of content. And if that was the case, they said we'll give you $1 million to make 10 episodes. You as the content creator, go out, buy a bunch of stuff, hire a bunch of staff, start producing the content, and then YouTube says, oh, you know what? Never mind. We're not going to give you that money. Then I would agree with you. I would agree with you 100%. That would be wrong. That's not what this is, though. YouTube is just saying, we no longer have advertisers that want to be on content that has swearing in the first 8 seconds. So if we don't have money coming in, there's no revenue to split with you. That's how we get AdSense money. It is split between YouTube and the content creator because they are the intermediary between our content and advertisers. So I think this idea of work you already did for us, it's not work that we did for YouTube, it's work that we made the decision to do for ourselves, for our audiences. And we just so happened to upload it to YouTube. YouTube did not ask us to. YouTube made no promises to give us money. YouTube just gave us the opportunity to upload to their platform, and they were even nice enough to share the ad revenue with us. That was very rare. When that rolled out, that was game-changing because nobody else was doing that. Up until recently, I don't think any other platforms were. YouTube was the only game in the entire industry where they said, we will sell ads, we will place ads, and we will give you a share of that revenue. So I think it is a skewed perspective to say YouTube had a platform, they allowed us to upload, they were sharing the revenue with us, and because the platform existed, it was them asking us to make content for them. And because we chose to make that content, we have a right to earn that money. We are entitled to revenue that is no longer coming in. I think that's a very skewed perspective. Unless you're one of those creators who did get one of those grants and was actually hired by YouTube to make content, the overwhelming majority of us made the decision to do what we're doing. We made the decision to spend time and money making videos, to spend our money buying the equipment, the cameras, the microphones, the interfaces, the software, to record stuff. We made the decision to spend our free time learning how to edit, researching, making outlines, improving. We also made the decision to upload to YouTube as opposed to exclusively uploading to YouTube's competitors like Odyssey, Rumble, Vimeo. I know I did that because YouTube is just better, in my opinion. It seems like the best place to upload in terms of features, in terms of discoverability, in terms of revenue sharing. It seems to be the best place out there. Maybe it's no longer the best place for everybody, but we made that decision, and that allowed YouTube to continue to be the dominant force in online video hosting, online video distribution. We made that decision. And then we get to your analogy, and I disagree with it 100% because your analogy relies on the idea of YouTube existing being analogous to YouTube hiring you. I don't view it that way at all. I came up with an alternative analogy, and I wrote it down so I can get it right. So I am going to read it to you, which will be very weird with this camera in this angle. Here is a portrait shot. This is very unflattering, but here is my analogy to compete against your analogy. Hey, I'm a company. I have all these tools available, and I will even let you use them for free. Not only that, if somebody chooses to pay you for the work that you complete using those tools that I am giving you for free, I will facilitate that transaction and be so kind as to split the money with you. But here's the caveat: if no one wants to pay for the work that you have done with the tools we gave you for free, you get nothing. You get no money because no money came in. And again, I want to reiterate, I understand that it sucks seeing future revenue projections decrease. I get it better than most people because I saw my revenue projections tank, absolutely tank off of a cliff. I only want to see revenue projections skyrocket. I only want to see revenue stay consistent or grow. But just because we want something does not mean that we are owed it, does not mean that we are entitled to it. There is a very simple way to avoid this, to avoid YouTube changing ad policy, leading to you seeing declining revenue. Go out, negotiate with companies, and get ads that you read on your content. By going directly to the advertisers, you are bypassing all of YouTube's policies. So as long as your video doesn't get age restricted or deleted or hidden, you should be fine. You won't see that decrease in ad revenue because you are not beholden to YouTube's ever-changing policy. So if you want to avoid that, go out, negotiate those contracts with the advertisers to allow you to swear every second of every video, and you should be fine. But this is the issue with building your business on somebody else's platform. Like I mentioned, I saw my revenue projections tank. Amazon made the decision in 2020, we're going to cut those percentages in half. Just with a snap of a finger, my revenue was cut in half. Due to changes in the algorithm, due to changes in consumers' behavior, due to changes in interests, I have seen my YouTube revenue cut in half because I receive a lot less viewership. Am I on here complaining every single week that I am owed what I was earning before? No. I made the decision to build my businesses, to build my income streams on somebody else's platforms. If you want to avoid that, you really should be building your own income streams that you own. This is why I advocate so heavily for building your own website, having your own hub that you own online. Podcastage.com, BandrewSays.com, GeeksRising.com. I very rarely will give out youtube.com/podcastage. I don't want to do that. Because if I was ever banned from YouTube every single time that I mentioned youtube.com/podcastage, that is now a dead link. But if I mention podcastage.com, I can have my website there, or I can have that website, that URL, direct to wherever I want. But not only that, you should be building your own income streams if you want this to be a business. That is what we are seeing so much in the political commentary realm. Look at Alex Jones. He was banned, but he had been building up his own income streams for years, selling products. He has his own website, his own video platform now. Look at Tim Pool. He has his own subscription service now. He sells a bunch of merch. I don't know what he does anymore. I haven't watched that guy in years. You have Steven Crowder with the subscription model, Daily Wire with the subscription model. You see these companies realizing how precarious it is to build your business and rely on income streams that are reliant on somebody else's platform. So in order to mitigate that risk, they build their own income streams. They build their own platforms. So they are no longer at the whims of the ever-changing policies of big tech, to use that term. I know that's a contentious term. I hope there was something useful in all of that rambling. I am not siding with YouTube because I hate content creators who swear. That's not the case at all. I am just trying to convey a point. I am trying to make you understand that if our income relies on advertisements, when advertisers cease wanting to be on our content, our income decreases. Our income dries up. YouTube is just the messenger here. Maybe they will change their tune. Maybe they will go back to the advertisers and say, listen, pal, we are standing with our creators. Give us money to put on these type of swearing videos, and maybe they'll make it work. But as I see it, it is just advertisers saying we don't want to be on content that has a bunch of swearing. And I know some people were saying, well, that happens on TV. There's a big difference between YouTube and TV. That big difference is, what is it called? Standards and practices. Do you want a standards and practices department on YouTube where before anything goes live, it has to go through an entire jury and they have to give you notes and say, oh no, you can't say that. Advertisers won't like that, so we won't let you upload it. Because that is why television is allowed to have ads on stuff that is violent, because it goes through this entire approval process before it gets broadcast. YouTube is still the Wild West compared to television. Yes, currently you may get demonetized. Yes, currently you may have limited monetization, but you can still upload a heck of a lot of stuff that would never be allowed on television. So that is the big difference between television and YouTube, and why we see stuff that is advertised on television that is not advertised on YouTube, because they have to be a lot more careful on YouTube because you don't have that department that reviews everything before it gets broadcast. That is it. I am going to stop rambling. I don't know if any of that made sense.